Kevin Abstract has dropped his new project, Arizona Baby. Now, initially, what was happening was we got a teaser, the 199 is coming. Although the song at that time is what I believed it to be called, it ended up being called Big Wheels on this project. And this project features 3 songs. Big Wheels, what I just mentioned, Joyrides, and Georgia. Now, Georgia was actually teased at the right before the dropping of Arizona Baby. However, I wasn't sure. So when I played the video, I was just kind of confused. And then the project came out. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I got it. That's the actual. Okay, that's the song. Got it. Okay. With these 3 songs, it's pretty cool. The length is actually not too long. The longest song in here is Joyride. It clocks in at 3 minutes and 34 seconds. The other ones stay around 1 minute and 58, 1 minute 40. Now, the 199 is coming / Big Wheels, the one that I actually already talked about, pretty much it has a frantic pace. The flow is pretty good, and I really enjoy the transition to saxophone. Pretty much the narrative here is that Kevin is trying to wrestle with the anguish and anxiety that has plagued him and the frustrations that he still has with certain aspects of that, such as his own hometown not really being a welcoming place for him, as the people back there seem to think that he's a fraud of some sort. And it's just lame that they think that, especially considering how successful he's been and how he continues to really push the envelope when it comes to making music. Now, Joyrides is my favorite song, and everything about this is just, from the triumphant trumpets that peter their way through this song, to the guitar that kind of feels almost melancholy, to the sounds of Kevin, the whoo hoo, and the sound of what I think is either him, an R2-D2 scream, or a car zooming by, all of which sonically illustrates the joyride, the idea of a joyride kind of zooming through, and his determination seems to be constantly building as the song goes on. Now, initially he's kind of like, why? Like, there was a bit of confusion here, and this was on my part because I don't know what this means. What is, somebody please tell me what it means to not want to fuck in the sun? Now, if he said something else, like I don't want to fly too close to the sun, and I just misheard it, I am a lame pervert, I guess. I'm sorry. I just, every time I listen to it, approximately on listen 100,572, I'm still hearing, I don't want to fuck in the sun. I don't know what it means, but if someone can enlighten me. Now, the sweetest moment on this song is when he's kind of talking about him spending time with his boyfriend, and he says, like, it was so cute. He said, basically, if I had to tell you how special you were, we'd be here until the sun comes up. I was like, oh, it's so sweet. And it really, like, overall though, there's a determination to this song where Big Wheels is frantic. This one still has that same energy, but it's kind of less chaotic and more just like aggressively determined, and I really enjoy that. And then there's a part in it where it just slows down, and it fits so well because it just gives you a moment to breathe among like the energy that's like blasting at you. And then it just kind of like, it slowly like builds up to that zoom again. It's almost like if you're slowing down for a red light and the car in front of you is slowing down, so you're slowing down, the car hasn't stopped. Here, pretty much the same thing happens. The car hasn't stopped, and then the green light, and you're still going. So that part is just awesome. I really, really love that part, which is probably why I listened to it over and over again. Now, for the final song, Georgia, I really, at first, I was not a fan at all. I was just like, what is this? And then that's why I listened to it again, and I really enjoyed it, like, after, for one, realizing what the hell he was saying, and then for 2, the way that it's sonically structured. It's not a stark shift, it's not sudden, it's not terse. It pretty much allows, again, for that like type of breath. In any project or any creative work, you have to be able to let the consumer breathe, because sometimes if you bash them over the head with like too much at once, it'll be an overload, and then they're not going to want to consume the rest of that project regardless of what it may be. This is perfectly shown here, where he's given us frantic, he's given us determined and excited, and now he calms it down for kind of a retelling of where he got, like how he got here. And it's always interesting to hear, because not only does it suck, because him being gay in a not accepting society, apparently especially in Texas, did not really lend to him having the best times back then. Like, he literally in one line kind of says in this almost self-effacing way, or not self-effacing, but kind of like masochistic way, where he's like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I like tell like these guys that I like the nigga in the back, and how much would they make me suffer. Like, it's like, it was kind of terrifying. Like, damn, like, you really about this life, huh? Like, not only that, but just then it shifts into him going through stardom with Brockhampton and dealing with that, and then him now where he's telling his mom is all right, but we know he's not all right. Like, he's still dealing with stuff. However, again, there is kind of that part in Joyrides where he talks about like how much more determined he is, how he has not gotten past, but been able to mitigate the anxieties that are around him. And it seems like he's still working on mitigating the anxieties around him. It still seems like they are pretty prevalent in some aspects of his life, but they aren't a domineering force in the way that they might have been. I mean, with anybody that deals with anxiety / any kind of mental illness, I'm sure it's not something you can easily just get rid of. They usually are reoccurring, and they don't let up just because you have a good day or anything like that. Like, you could experience success on Kevin Abstract's level and probably still have anxieties that plague you from day-to-day life. It's just unfortunately a reality of dealing with those things. And so I think that the best line on here, now initially I was going to say the best line on here was the one in Joyrides where he's like talking about how he's like overcome these things, but when he says in Georgia like how he found worth finally, how his own creative like works gave him a path to feeling worth in his own life, really just resonates with, I feel like that resonates with a lot of people. When your dream gives you that credence and that feeling of like credibility and not feeling invalid about yourself, this gave him that avenue for it, and that's just like a beautiful thing. That's just a beautiful thing. There's a lot of clever bars on here, and they're mostly littered in big wheels mostly, but just that one in particular is the most resonant, I think. Like, I think that one's gonna have the most impact, especially in a softer song, which kind of almost forces you to listen a little bit closer. When there's frantic energy, it's a lot harder to catch every detail, but Georgia really brings that feeling of home that I think Kevin is trying to capture in that song. Overall, Arizona Baby is a great project. It's only 3 songs, so I guess you would call it an EP, but I really like it. And apparently next week we'll be getting Ghetto Baby, so that's gonna be interesting. Kevin posted like a picture and said next week this, so I'm guessing 18th is when we're gonna be getting that, so that's 7 days from now. So yeah, next week. But Arizona Baby for now is a pretty good like appetizer. I'm wondering if it's gonna be the same 3-song format, or if he's going to expand into further territory, like maybe this will be an album. But the way that the dates are listed that I was speculating on, but I didn't mention in the Crystal Ball Corner video, the dates are the 11th, we got Arizona Baby, the 18th and the 25th. The 18th, apparently, we're going to be getting Ghetto Baby, and then 25th, I'm guessing it will be revealed, or not, like, I guess on the 18th, he'll drop a project called Ghetto Baby, and then he'll be like, hey, here's this, here's what's happening on the 25th. So we'll consistently get updates and stuff like that, I believe. And overall, I think this was a pretty dope project, and I enjoyed it. I think that Kevin Abstract is wonderful. He's a great human being, and can't wait for more music from him or Brockhampton, whoever does it first. It looks like Kevin's gonna do it first, and like Brockhampton's like, hey, surprise album randomly, because why not? Arizona Baby! Arizona Baby. I'm not from Arizona. Well, this guy says, unfortunately, I've never visited Arizona either. Not only am I not from there, but I've never visited. And I feel like if I would go there, I don't think anyone would call me baby in Arizona. I love how I said that like it's a different language, like people speak. Do you speak Arizona? Have you ever spoken Arizona? I've never spoken Arizona. I'm currently learning Spanish. Hablamos poquito Arizona. Baby.